Hey y'all, Serena Starlight Witch here. I hope everyone's doing well and fabulous. Yes, I'm a nugget today. I decided to be a chicken nugget today. Please ignore my scar. I do have a scar on my lip. It looks horrible. I do apologize. Please ignore that. I think this is so cute. I love chicken nuggets. So I was like, you know what? Let me be a chicken nugget today. So I'm Serena Starlight Witch. If you don't know, I have a YouTube and a TikTok, and I have an Etsy. But I mostly post on YouTube. I do not know if I will be posting this on TikTok or not. I really don't know. We will see. So one of my big things is speaking out about spiritual frauds and scammers. I am a tarot reader. I am a Reiki master, and I am a spellcaster. And I do offer services, but I am genuine and I am honest, and I care about people, and so I feel the need to speak out about certain things that I'm seeing on the internet that are scams. And a few days ago, I came across a live, and sorry I'm looking around a lot, that's just how I think. I came across this live. I'm not gonna lie, I was in bed, I was all comfortable, and I came across this live, and I started to watch it, and I became furious. You know, like I was saying, I was in bed, I was all comfortable, scrolling on TikTok, getting ready to go to sleep, and I came across this other practitioner's live, and I was filled by rage, and filled with rage. I mean, just like a God-crushing rage. Yes, I'm going to tell you why. This particular TikToker, she's been around for several years. It is a female, I will not say her name for legal purposes. She has over 100,000 followers, of course. Some people nickname her, actually I'm not going to say, because you'll figure it out, but she's extremely known for love magic. She offers a lot of love spells. That's like the main thing that she offers. I think she offers like a curse. Okay, so I was saying, I think she offers like a curse or two. But yeah, she's pretty well known in the TikTok community. She's mostly known for her love magic. She has like very love magic aesthetics. She posts mostly stuff about love spells. And she seems to have a pretty good business. Now I will say I did some digging, and I found out that there's a lot of people out there who have bought services from her, and their partner ended up skedaddling, which can happen in love magic, especially when dealing with a narcissist. But I mean, an overwhelming amount of people have this experience. And there are several people who came out and said that they noticed a tremendous amount of bad luck after getting their spell casting from her, which is no surprise there. A lot of witches who don't know what they're doing, when they cast a spell and they don't know what they're doing, they can do a lot of horrible things. They can create malicious attachments to themselves and their client, which can cause their client to receive a tremendous amount of bad luck. I will go into that in another video. I don't have time today, but these practitioners who don't really know what they're doing a tremendous amount of harm in the world, especially for their clients and even themselves. As a practitioner, you're working with occult and occult forces and spiritual forces, and there's a lot of bad forces out there, and you've got to be careful what you're doing in the spiritual world. When you light a candle, you're opening up spiritual doors and gateways, and you can do a lot of harm to yourself and your client and the target of the client when you are not experienced and you truly don't know what you're doing, and if you don't have a good spiritual backing and spiritual team looking out for you and your client. But anyway, I couldn't believe the audacity of this witch. I mean, my jaw was dropped to the floor, and I was tired. I was ready to go to bed, and I ended up watching this live for 30 minutes just to see how much she was truly a scammer. So let me tell you what this little witch bitch was doing. So people were asking her, let's just say supposedly, metaphorically, asking her free questions. She was answering these questions faster. Anyway, she was answering these questions faster than what she was able to read them. Like, not even a second after reading the question out loud, she would answer it. Sometimes she didn't even fully read the question. As a psychic medium myself, before I can answer, and I've met other psychics, and they all say the same thing works for them. When you do a psychic reading, you have to meditate on their question. You don't just see shit immediately. Like this lady, people would be like, oh, well, I'm just using a random example. Will Blake and I get back together? So let's see, okay, let's pretend. Well, Blake and I get back together. Well, I do see he will come back, but he needs a little extra push, so you should buy this and this service for me. So she would answer the question immediately, and then immediately give a recommendation. Yeah, metaphorically speaking, in my own belief, in my opinion, not a fact, I believe, but that's not how you do psychic readings. You have to meditate on the question. You have to connect to the customer's energy, and you have to read the energy. You don't just immediately see stuff like some magical, mystical, super psychic woman. You have to read the energy, you have to connect to the woman, you have to connect to the person she's asking about, and that usually takes me about a good 10 to 15 minutes. I literally have to like close my eyes, light some incense, do some protection to protect myself and my client, and read and connect to the energy. It has to do like a little 10-15 minute meditation. You cannot, and I'm sorry, I'm getting loud because I'm getting passionate, I'm getting angry. You cannot answer. It don't matter if you're the most amazing psychic in the universe. When someone asks you a question, you cannot answer instantly. You need at least a couple of minutes to look into the energy. And you know, you kind of have to have like a spiritual setting. Unless you're a medium walking around the grocery store and someone's loved one walks up to you. That does happen. But most of us spiritual psychic mediums, we have to get in a meditation, a trance. We have to sit down with some candles or a spiritual meditative space and connect to the energy. This woman was literally answering the questions, like I said, faster than what she was even able to read them. And she was instantly giving people recommendations. Like, it broke my heart. Not only did it make me furious, but it broke my heart knowing you can just tell that she was scamming. Like, you can see the fraud on her face. You can see the fakeness on her face. You know, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, wow, someone really has the audacity. She was just making up shit and giving recommendations. Yeah, so I see this and this, and you should buy this and this for me. This is my recommendation. I don't give anyone a recommendation unless they ask for it. Mind you, guys, I was sitting there in disbelief, laying in my bed in disbelief, total, utter disbelief. I'm like, there's no way someone has the audacity to go live for millions of people to see and be a fraud like that and scam people like that. I literally couldn't believe what I was seeing and hearing. The amount of fraud, the amount of fakeness, the amount of thievery and lies. It was mind-boggling to me, and it still is. Like, I feel like I'm still having difficulty processing this. As someone who, I am a spellcaster, I'm a reader. But I'm a legit one, not a scammer. And as a legit one, as a legit caster, something like this, it really just boggles my mind. And I'm thinking to myself, how has this woman not gotten in legal trouble yet? How has this woman not been cursed yet? I do not comprehend it whatsoever. But I couldn't believe it, the audacity to get on live for millions to see and answer people's questions. I mean, people were asking her back to back to back to back to back to back to back. The amount of energy being mixed, the amount of negativity being thrown around. For one, you never ask a personal question in live for hundreds of people to see. That should always be done in private, between just you and your psychic, only for, done in private for only your eyes and their eyes to see. You never do that in a public platform. You don't want people knowing your business or connecting to your energy in any shape or form, unless it's privately. The amount of negativity spreading, the amount of portals opening, the amount of jinxes being spread, the amount of attachment she's getting onto herself. Hey y'all, so I was talking for about a good 10 minutes and I didn't realize I wasn't recording. Yay me, right? Anyway, what I was saying is that it broke my heart seeing all these women ask questions and thinking that they're being told an honest answer. But at the same time, it doesn't break my heart. Like, if you're gullible enough to sit in a live and believe this fraud, then you deserve to go to therapy. Like, it broke my heart seeing the lie, the thievery, the manipulation. It broke my heart seeing these people fall victim to this spiritual predator, because that's what she is, metaphorically speaking. She is a spiritual predator, preying on people's heartache, their love, their desperation, and giving them a free answer and recommending services to them. That is a spiritual predator. And it broke my heart seeing these people be lied to like that. But at the same time, I'm just like, if you're gullible enough, if you're dumb enough, because I'm sorry, but you're just dumb if you believe this person. If you're dumb enough to believe her, to even go in her live and ask her a question, then that just goes to show you don't need a love spell. You need therapy, you need a life, you need a hobby. If you had the time to waste to sit in that live and not realize the fraud, the fakeness, because it was so obvious to see, and to sit there and ask her a question, then you got some issues and you need therapy, and you need a life, you need friends. Because ain't no way, because and there was hundreds of women in there. And if you went and bought services from her, then there's just no way. I don't know what could help you at that point. Like, you need some kind of other help besides spiritual help, because that's just pure gullibleness, that's just pure dumbness, that's just pure desperation. And people who fall for this crap. And I'm a spellcaster myself, I'm a tarot reader myself, but if you cannot spot a scammer that's so easily to spot, then like I said, and I don't mean this in a rude way, but you need something other than spiritual work. You need friends, you need a hobby, you need to spend time with your family, because it was so obvious to see that this woman was a fraud. I mean, she was just answering questions back to back to back instantly, wasn't even fully reading the sentences. And don't get me wrong, she sounded professional. She talked very well, looked very nice, very pretty, very aesthetic room. Like, this girl is a professional at this shit. She knows what she's doing. She definitely knows what she's doing. She knows how to speak, she knows how to talk, she knows how to look. I don't even think I heard her stutter once. But yeah, it breaks my heart. It makes me furious. It makes me angry. But at the same time, I just tell myself, if people are dumb enough to believe this, and if they're even dumb enough to buy services from her, then that's a them problem. Honestly, that's something they got to work out with themselves. And honestly, shouldn't feel bad for them. But I still want to speak about it because, maybe people just don't understand. Yeah, like us psychics, we don't have superpowers. Okay, we can't answer your question instantly. We need a few minutes. Okay, there's stuff we got to do to read the energy. We're not superhuman. We're not superpowers. We don't have superpowers. We're not Wonder Woman. I don't know of any legit reader who can answer questions instantly like that, and then they'll just recommend a service. That's not how that works. And let me just say, a love spell should never be your first recommendation to a customer. There are things all customers have to do in order to get their spell to work, like cleansing their house, cleansing their car, road openers, blockbusters on crossings. Sometimes road openers, blockbusters on crossings, and then a sweetening spell or two is enough to get you all that you want. Sometimes you don't have to go further than that. But there are things that she wasn't even telling the customers what to do. Like, she was giving them no free advice, no education, no free advice. She was literally not helping these people whatsoever. Just, I see this and this, and you need to buy this and this. I recommend this and this. And I just thought to myself, what bullshit is this? What the audacity to go on live for millions to see and just to scam like this. And it's just sad. Another thing that breaks my heart is seeing not one single legit practitioner speak out about this. None. I haven't seen one legit reader or psychic or spellcaster speak out about this. Like, I get they don't want to be in drama. They don't want to be involved in drama. But I'm like, they should be, I should not be the only one talking about this. I have a very small platform. If more, creators who are legit, who are spellcasters with the bigger platforms would speak out, maybe some of this fraud can be prevented. And not just fraud, but lies, heartache, manipulation. These people are being lied to, they're being manipulated. Because even if they're just asking a free question, being told the wrong answer can be harmful. And it's just not right. What's right is what's right, and what's wrong is what's wrong. But yeah, and as I was saying, there are things you have to do. If you're going to buy spells from someone, there are things that a lot of customers think it is as easy as pressing the buy button and they get results instantly. No, ma'am. That's not how this works. There are things you got to do. The cleansing, the affirmations, the believing. Meditation is very good. There are things that you need to do to help your spell manifest. Making mundane action. Like if you get a job spell or prosperity spell, you want to go out and apply for a job or open up another line of income. There's things you got to do mundanely, spiritually, to get your spell to manifest. This witch can never do it all for you. So this woman was not even offering any advice, any instructions, any recommendations, other than buying her services for people to spend money on. And I sat in her live for a good minute to see. And no, there wasn't a single advice, instructions. Oh, maybe you shouldn't buy a love spell from me. Tell me more about your situation. Maybe send me an email. Maybe you should do this instead. Like, just, you don't always need a spell. I do believe that people need on crossings and road openers and blockbusters at least yearly or every few years. And sometimes that's enough to help the situation. But I didn't see a single advice, a single instruction, a single tip. Just her, yeah, I see this and you need to go buy this from me. This is what I recommend you buy. You know how many people I've helped for free? How much free information I've given out? Yeah, and I bet all she does is send a photo to her customers and doesn't even send them any advice or tips or anything whatsoever. Probably nothing. It's just a shame. It's just a shame. But yes, that's another red flag, guys. Like, if the witch, if the psychic is answering your questions immediately without meditating on it, then they're probably not that good. And if they're not giving you no advice, instructions for you to do, like homework, like every witch should be giving their customers homework. If they're not giving them any form of homework, more than likely they're not legit. I have so much homework for my customers that it's just, I can't like send it to, I just make videos on YouTube. Probably videos I should make private, honestly, but they're tips that all people should know, so I don't make it private. I probably will make a customer video at some point that's probably going to be an hour to 2 hours long for the customer. But yeah, I put my videos on YouTube under the playlist customers. And all customers who buy my spell work, you don't have to do it if you buy products or readings, but all customers who buy my spell work should be watching every video on there. Because there's homework you have to do in order to get your spell to work. There's things the witch has to do, and there's things that the customer has to do. The witch can never do it all for you. She can't just walk up to your house and deliver your results like a package. Like you press buy and it shows up instantly. That's not how it works. So yeah, if they're not giving you no instructions, advice, tips, information, homework, they're probably not legit. They're probably BS. So yeah, I had to talk about this, guys. I'm still so furious. Like, I am beyond mad. Because the audacity, the thievery, the fraud, and it's bitches like this that are giving us real practitioners such a bad reputation. And why it's becoming more and more shameful of being a witch for hire, because of bitches like her. I'm gonna stop talking about this. I'm so mad. Like, I'm so mad. I love you guys. Bye.